Good morning, I'm Cameron Moore, Executive Officer here with the Wilmington-Cape Home Builders Association, and today joining me is BASE's CEO and President Tyler Newman. Tyler, thank you for joining me. We're here today to do the May Advocacy Corner. Appreciate you joining us. Tyler, we've had quite a lot of things going on here locally. Obviously, statewide things are getting ready to kind of crank up at the General Assembly. They'll be going back in session pretty soon, but so it's been a little quiet. I know some committees have been meeting on some building inspection related stuff. And NCHBA's been keeping us updated on that. But here locally, obviously, our attention has been really focused on the UDO, really two UDOs, the city's UDO process and the county's UDO process. There are some differences, and talk about that a little bit, the differences as far as the timeline and then some of the things that we've been talking to each entity as far as some of the challenges that we see.
So both the City of Wilmington and New Hanover County are undergoing these unified development ordinance processes. They're updating their ordinances and they'll really guide growth for the next 25 to 30 years. It's a huge undertaking. It'll take several years really to get all the documents done. We've seen the first phase of 3 phases on the county side. We've seen new zoning districts, we've seen some definitions, some really specific things on that side. The city is about a month behind, so we'll be seeing the city zoning districts here in the coming months. So the planning boards on both sides will work through these documents. We've had opportunity to comment. We spoke at a public meeting last week on the ordinance as it is now to talk about some of the zoning districts and really to talk about how important the ordinances are, how important they are and will be to encourage growth and investment in our community moving forward. And I think we've seen with some of the projects moving forward, some of the individual rezoning projects, you can read the paper, there's consternation about traffic or this sort of type of project or that, and that's going to continue to happen in the future. So we need to have ordinances that can address some of those concerns and at the same time provide a really clear path for that type of investment to continue to come here. We're not going to build a wall, we're not going to put a toll facility at the bridge coming into town. So folks are coming here. The statistic I heard the other day was in the next 20 years, 4 states are going to get 50% of the nation's growth. And North Carolina is one of those 4, along with Florida and Georgia and Texas.
And two of the things we've commented on, and we've really had some conversations with both planning directors of the city and the county here, is height and density. Those are 2 terms that are going to be key, and that's something that Wilmington as a community is going to have to embrace to make sure that these ordinances really fulfill a lot of the challenges. If we continue to build out and do R20, which are 20,000 square foot lots, we really are wasting space. So height and density are 2 things that the community really is going to have to embrace, and we're going to, I know obviously, impress upon both the city and the county that those are 2 things that we want to see in the ordinance.
Well, I think it changes the way that New Hanover County has developed over time, right? And as the Home Builders Association, I think people think of residential homes, but we've got to look at the big picture. And if people don't have to get in their car to drive somewhere, and we can build a more compact, mixed-use type development and more of those around town, and then we have complementary residential areas around those, and then we grow a lot more efficiently. So it's not 2 roads in, 2 roads out, 1 road across, and everybody's using the same 3 facilities to get around town.
Sure. Jumping over to Brunswick County real quick, I know that there was a House bill that actually became a session law, and out of that session law, it required anybody that was doing water and sewer had impact fees to kind of come in and do a third-party study. And that study was to show essentially were you charging the appropriate amounts, and if you weren't, they were to kind of change that perhaps. Brunswick County did perform that study, and it actually showed that they were charging less than what they should have. But the county has come back and said we're going to continue to charge the rate that we have been charging on impact fees. Talk real quickly about that.
So the study was to look at impact fees, water and sewer impact fees, like you said. There's some folks in the other part of the state, some utility providers that were going way above and beyond what they should be charging. So the task was for Brunswick County to look at what are the projects that they're paying for, the system improvements, what are their fees, and do those things match up? What they figured out was that instead of, for a 4-bedroom house, they could be charging $9,000 in water and sewer impact fees, and they're charging $6,000.
Right.
So our concern is that they were gonna jump $3,000 a house, right? Overnight, snap your fingers, boom. They're not gonna do that.
That's good.
They've done the study to figure out that they could, but they also understand that jumping up $3,000, the impact that would have on housing. They've really made the argument that we would make.
Right.
They've already made it.
That's,
And
we appreciate that.
That's right. And they understand the ramifications
Sure.
of making that change. But Cape Public Utility Authority, other water and sewer districts all around. I know Oak Island has some astronomical fees. Presumably they'll be going through the same sort of analysis, so it'd be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Good deal. Well, keep us updated on that. As always, appreciate you joining us here for the Advocacy Corner. You can check out this month's edition of the Toolbox, May's edition, to check out what's going on with BASE in the Governmental Affairs section. And with that, we will come back in June, and thank you for joining us.